I'm sorry to hear about your dad.
Thing.
I've become quite fascinated with the death process, even though I'm pretty far from it, I think myself. But um, because people don't often talk about it, it's like as my own parents get older, I think, well, at some point, we're all going to have to deal with the fact that there's a limit to how long we're here for. So, do you mind sharing? Like, I know it was recent, and it's completely fine if you don't want to, but I'm just interested in how was it sudden, or were you sort of prepared
Mhm.
for it, and how being with your experience being a channel, did that help you, or do you mind sharing about that?
And yeah, I don't mind talking about it at all. In fact, I'll take us back 11 years to my mom's passing because that profoundly affected me. She was at home in hospice care, and each time she would be what the hospice nurses would call imminent, meaning that all the signs were that her death was very, very close, minutes away, perhaps. They would call us in or call us home, to her home. So, because they knew we wanted to be with her. And every single time this happened, as soon as I would walk in the room and stand by her, take her hand, she would revive, as in her breathing would stabilize. She would no longer show the signs of imminent death. And the first time I thought, oh, well, that was really beautiful. Wow, what a powerful experience. The second time it happened, I thought, what's going on here? Because at that point in time, I really did want her to have the peace of leaving the body. Like, she was already completely disengaged from the outer world. She hadn't been eating, she hadn't been drinking. Nothing about her existence looked pleasant. I, the third time it happened, it was a different hospice nurse. She came in to advise my father and I that my mother was imminent. And of course, I was, I almost rolled my eyes probably. And I said, we've heard this before. Forgive me if we don't run to the back of the house, but are you sure? And she said, I know what I'm looking at. And you told me you wanted to be with your mom. So if you want to be with your mom, I'm telling you now, you need to go. So we went to her room, and I stood at her bedside, and I put my arms just out, kind of almost encircling my parents. And I just closed my eyes. I was just putting like beautiful, loving energy around them. There wasn't anything magical I was doing, I promise. And she revived again. And the nurse grabbed my hand and said, come in here. She took me into the bathroom and she said, what are you doing? She said, I have not seen anything like that before. I know your mother was going. I took notes on all the signs. And she said, as soon as you put your arms out around your parents, she went into a peaceful, calm breathing state. And I no longer have the same clinical signs that she is going to pass very soon. And I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but I really would like to figure it out because I want to stop doing it. It's just dragging. It felt like it was just dragging things out for everybody. I wanted her to be at peace, of course. But she said, I'm writing a book and I'm putting you in my book. And she apparently did put that story in the chapters that she wrote as a hospice nurse. That day, though, my mother did finally transition. It was maybe just some hours later, and it was imperceptible. She did not show those obvious signs. She just slowly and peacefully let her last breath happen. And I was so relieved that she got to have that peaceful experience. And I was so relieved that I was there for it in the room, and that it was really just my dad holding her hand and me holding space a few feet away, sitting on the bed and texting my sister what was going on. So that has changed me. And with my father's passing, his was not drawn out. He was ill for quite a while, but also very warrior-like in how he managed his illness. And so his passing was much more, it was within 2 days of going on hospice. So very, very different feel. And they're all different, right? Like the passing of my best friend, who is the one that taught me how to channel. She passed of a brain tumor. That was a different experience. Everything I would say is just so unique, and all we can really do is show up fully and take really good care of ourselves during that process, because it can be very emotionally and spiritually exhausting.
Wow.